What's up gamers, DreamcastGuy here, and I just got back from Quakecon 2017. It was a hell of an event, but on the floor they actually had the first ever playable demo of Skyrim VR. I'm a really big fan of Skyrim, so I had to try this, and strangely, the experience was a little bit negative. Before we start, I'm sorry if I look really exhausted or tired. We're about to get hit by a huge hurricane, so I have to record this before, well, it's going to be extremely loud outside. If you were thinking that this was going to be a normal Elder Scrolls game but with goggles, it is not. The gameplay is completely different. Completely. Now, let's start with the controls. Your left wand, because the whole thing is done with PlayStation Move Wiimotes, your left controller is how you move. By pressing the move button, you teleport wherever you're aiming. Whenever you have your controller up, you'll see like this giant blue arc, and wherever it's landing is where you can teleport to. It's a pretty good system, and it's very easy to get used to. I mean, literally, within 30 seconds, I was teleporting all over the place, and even actually tapping it really fast to sprint across the map. You can go way faster than you could in the normal game using this method. This does bring us to the weird thing though. How do you turn? Now, you can turn your head to have a little bit of like range, but if you want to get somebody who's behind you, the right Wiimote is how you turn your body. There's two buttons on the top of the Wiimote that'll turn your body what feels like about a 35-degree angle. It's slight, it's not a bunch. So if somebody is behind you, you actually have to tap it really, really fast so that it feels like turning in a clock. You're like, once you're facing them then, it's all a matter of fighting them. In this demo, as weird as it was, I didn't see any health or mana bar. I couldn't tell if I was winning or if I was losing really until people fell over dead. I had a sword in my right hand and a fire spell in my left hand. I had a bunch of different stuff which I tested, but for the most part I just ran with one spell, one sword. So what you do is, to swing your sword, obviously you just waggle the Wiimote. Here's a weird thing though, it seems like the speed you have to go to hurt people is really inconsistent. Sometimes I just barely tap people and they'd fall over dead immediately, and other times I would full blast swing my blade and it would bounce off like I tried to poke them. Now the other thing is, my mana seemed to be infinite. I was using spells non-stop, never had a problem. But here's what else is weird. So normally when you're using like a fire spell in Skyrim, it goes about 10 feet. It just like goes 10 feet and then it disperses. I was shooting my fire what seemed like 25 or 30 feet. There's a part in the dungeon where this giant spider came down, and I'm just spraying him and spraying him and spraying him from all the way across the room. He could not get to me. I was basically invincible. I would kind of understand this easier difficulty if there were tons of enemies. You know, normally when you're going through the wilderness or something, you'll get jumped by 10 bandits. That is not at all the case anymore. Every single enemy I saw fought me one-on-one. If there was going to be a bandit or a zombie, they would walk in a straight line at you and then you just fought them. Occasionally they'd walk a little bit to my left or my right, but for the most part they'd walk straight at me. I'd fight them a little bit, and they fall over dead. It was super, super simplified. I mean, the world was basically empty. The whole demo started outside of a dungeon. You walked in, and you fought all the way to the bottom of it. While I was there, I really wanted to test every single function I could. And here's where I found the craziest thing of all. Everything in the dungeon was already solved. They started the demo from the beginning. When I walked in, they started it over. I watched them start it over, but automatically, normally you'd like walk in and there'd be one of those things where there's like the 3 different spinning pillars and each one has like a symbol, like a dolphin, a snake or something, and you have to try and match the symbols to open a door. Every door was automatically open, which was very weird because I didn't have an activate button. So it's not like I could even interact with objects if I wanted to. And then at one point, I was supposed to talk with an NPC. It was specifically telling me I had to walk up to this NPC. When I just got close, they automatically started talking to me and then went and opened up a door for me. It seems like in this demo build, at least, there was not a way to interact with things. Every single puzzle was automatic. What the hell? I also couldn't use stealth at all. So I'm a big bow user when I'm playing Elder Scrolls games, especially Skyrim, so I got out my bow and I wanted to try and do some sneak attacks. there was no sneak button at all. There probably will be in the final game, but in this version, there wasn't. I just walked up and I had to bash everybody in the face with my sword or with my super long range magic. Skyrim VR is incredibly simplified. It feels like a completely different game, and it's baffling to me. Why would you make a game that is famous for being so deep and so deluxe and so rich with complexity and make it so bare bones? I mean, really, think about it. If there is not an interact button, or it's some weird thing where you can only interact with certain objects, how am I going to read stuff? How am I going to actually enjoy all the intricacies of every single area? It just seems like a very, very dumbed down version of Skyrim, and I do not understand why they would do that. The entire demo was pretty short. I do want to say, visually, totally fine. I played it on a PSVR unit. Graphically, totally cool. I just wish I could have seen my health bar. I wish I could have seen my mana bar, and I wish I knew what the heck was going on. I couldn't see any of the menus, which is pretty common. Typically, when you're playing like an early version like this, they don't let you go through like item menus. So I don't know how the hell I'll switch armor and stuff, since everything was done by waggling the Wiimotes, and there wasn't like a D-pad. I'm not sure how I'll like equip items. Maybe it'll have to be something where I like hold down one button and it brings it up and you swipe with the other wand. It's just so bizarre. I do not know who this is aiming at. It is very strange. I did not enjoy the experience at all. This is not Skyrim. The fact that they're even calling this, they should have 100% called this Elder Scrolls VR, because this is not Skyrim. It may take place on the continent of Skyrim, but this ain't Skyrim at all. Hopefully the final version is a lot more deluxe, but honestly, my hype for it is completely dead. I'd rather play the PC version or the Switch version, but I am not going to be trying that again. Well guys, are you still excited for this? Are you a die-hard VR fanboy? Are you interested in trying Doom VR or Fallout VR? Let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. But do me the biggest favor of all and keep dreaming. Man, that's so weird. I got a feeling I'm going to get so much like angriness from the VR community. I'm sorry. I'm a giant Skyrim fanboy, but this was just awful. Oh, hi. I'm just working on the next video. If you want to see what it is, go ahead and click this button and you can subscribe. Also, if you click these video links, you can see my latest review and my latest top 10. Now I'm just going to sit here for a minute and wait for you to subscribe. Oh, I guess I could put on these giant glasses. I literally found these on a roller coaster.